What are the odds that out of all of the videos on the internet, you landed on this one? Well, believe it or not, the odds actually aren't as low as you think. It was designed that you would land right on this video, right at the moment that you landed on it. Whether you clicked into this video through your notifications or you found it on your homepage, you're really part of a system that ensured that you would be right here, right now. See, YouTube has you completely hooked. It has me completely hooked too. But it's not just YouTube, it's Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, that little dumb game on your phone that you can't seem to put down. As a consumer, I know that you hate being hooked. And the crazy part is that you probably don't even realize that you are. On the other side, if you're a business owner, then you need to learn just how to keep your customers hooked, to keep them coming back over and over again, because that's what'll make you richer than you ever imagined. When you think about technology, you probably think about names like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. But did you know that both of them had restrictions or full-out bans for their children as it came to using technology? One time, Steve Jobs was asked whether his kids loved the iPad, and he replied, "We don't allow the iPad in the home. We think it's too dangerous for them in effect." See, Steve Jobs knew exactly what I'm about to explain to you in this video. He knew that technology is meant to keep you hooked, to keep you coming back, to keep you addicted. In fact, tech companies spend billions of dollars every year studying our psychological vulnerabilities and how to exploit them. They pay billions and billions and billions to figure out exactly what it is that'll trigger us to pick up our phone and sign back into their app again. And it works, because the average person checks their phone at least 150 times a day. I bet you don't even speak to your kids 150 times a day. What's even more interesting is that the same hooks that technology companies use to keep you picking up your phone are the exact same tactics that casinos use to keep you putting quarters into the slot machine or putting your chips down on the roulette table, watching your entire life savings dwindle away dollar by dollar. So in this video, I want to explore exactly how tech companies hook us, how they make us create these habits that always include their product, and really how they hold us hostage. Now, I'm not here to say whether it's ethical or not. I'm just gonna present the facts, and then you can decide whether it's ethical and let me know down in the comments. Now, if you're a startup owner, then maybe you can use this video as a blueprint of how to hook your customers and keep them coming back. And if you're somebody that's hooked to your smartphone and all the apps on it, then this video will expose exactly what it is that keeps you going back so that maybe you can fix your obsession. Tech companies are aware that every time a notification goes off on your phone, it produces the same dopamine rush as when you hear the bells ringing on the top of a slot machine. Now, I always knew that the triggers that these companies used were intentional, but I never knew exactly how intentional they were until I read this book called Hooked by Nir Eyal. And this is a really great book for entrepreneurs, by the way. And then just recently, I came across this video by Joe Rogan, which is called How Casinos Predict Human Behavior. The guest that he had on this particular podcast was a guy who had visited this private casino down in Las Vegas. And this casino solely existed to figure out what it is that causes people to pull the slot machine over and over again without thinking about it. And the craziest part is that when Joe Rogan asked who it is that funds this private casino, well, guess who it was? Tech companies. And then the guest went on to talk about this three-part scarcity loop that keeps us addicted to games like the slot machine. And more specifically, the three parts of this loop included opportunity, unpredictable rewards, and quick repeatability. In a casino, the opportunity is that, well, you could win some money. If you put $1 into the slot machine, well, you have the opportunity to multiply it several times over. In other words, the rewards are unpredictable. You know that if you play long enough, you're gonna win something, but that something could be 50 cents. It could be $1. It could be $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $1 million. But with time, there's some unpredictable reward that you will receive. And finally, there's quick repeatability, because it doesn't take much for you to reach up and grab the slot handle and pull it down again. In other words, it's very simple for you to get into this loop and just keep repeating the same actions over and over again. Now, let's go back to tech companies, because they use this exact same scarcity loop. Let's take Facebook, for example. You sign into the platform and you write up some post and post it to your timeline. The opportunity is that all of your friends will see your post, they'll agree with your brilliance, and you'll gain some level of social status or social satisfaction. The likes or the hearts or those laughing face emojis, those are your unpredictable rewards. Maybe you'll put a post up and you'll get 1 like, and that's from your mom. Or maybe you'll get 40 likes from all of your friends. Or maybe you'll go viral and get 1 million likes and shares. Who knows? It's unpredictable. And it's also quickly repeatable. You just type up another post, post it, and bam, you're right back into that loop again. And it's it's not just that these loops exist, it's the fact that casinos and tech companies, they do everything that they can to keep you in that loop. Because the more that you stay in that loop, the less money that you have in your pocket and the more money that they have in theirs. For example, you might walk into the casino with no intentions of playing anything. Maybe you just went there because you wanted lunch or you wanted to hang out with a friend. But then somebody walks up to you and offers you a player's card. And now the more you play, well, the more incentives that you'll win. And they mention how, oh yeah, somebody just won $2 million last week on the slot machine. And then you're thinking, well, it's only a couple of dollars that I'll have to lose. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be just like that other guy who won $2 million. And even if I don't win anything, I'll just lose a couple of dollars, but then I'll get comped on my player's card, so maybe eventually I'll get a free room or a free lobster dinner or something. So you sit down at the machine, and then $7,000 later, you still haven't won anything at all. Now, tech companies, they big up the opportunity too. Just think about social media. The big content creators and influencers, they get pushed up to the top of our feeds. They get paid from the platform to keep posting over and over again. So then we think, well, damn, I'm just as good as he or she is, so if I put up a post, then I'm probably gonna get the same result, right? And then after posting 500 times, well, you're still just getting that like from your mom, and now you feel like a failure. The author of this book, which again is called Hooked, well, he presents a different but much similar loop. This loop consists of 4 steps: trigger, action, investment, and variable reward. Again, very similar, but still a little bit different. So let's start with the trigger. Well, that's an internal or external force that influences some type of behavior. For example, a former drug addict might be triggered by going into their old environment or hanging out with some of the same people they used to hang out with. Now in a casino, the trigger might be the lights going off on the game, or all the various sounds that you hear, or all the commotion because that person across the room just hit the jackpot. But it's not just the casinos, because your phone triggers you constantly. What happens when you receive a new message on Messenger, or somebody likes one of your pictures on Instagram? You receive the notification, your phone buzzes in your pocket, you look at the screen and see the notification, and now you're completely triggered. No matter what you're doing, you have to check it. And you have to check it because now you have what's called FOMO, the fear of missing out. And by not checking it, you're actually not missing out on anything, but you feel as if you have to know what's happening, or you have to know what was said immediately. The trigger automatically sets you up for the next step, and it's an easy transition. You don't even have to log in with the username and password. You see the notification, you look down at the phone, and then the phone automatically opens up that application. Because if you had to log in manually, well, that will put a delay in the system, and that might cause you to wait to actually check that notification. And the tech companies know this. All you have to do is click the notification and it brings you right back into the application so that you can do the next step, which is taking an action. And after taking that action, the user gets some type of variable reward. And this is very similar to those unpredictable rewards that we talked about in the last loop. And by reward, in this case, it's just when the user satiates whatever challenge that they were facing. Now, according to the book's author, there are 3 different types of variable rewards. You have rewards of the tribe, rewards of the hunt, and rewards of the self. So let's quickly go through these so that you know exactly what they are. When we talk about social media companies specifically, well, they rely on what's called rewards of the tribe and our need for social reinforcement. Think about how good it feels when you post your opinion on Facebook or on Twitter, and then a bunch of people start liking it or commenting on it. It feels good knowing that people agree with us. And that social acceptance gives us that dopamine rush, which gives us an incentive to keep posting more and more and more. Now, if we talk about rewards of the hunt, this describes how these companies use these rewards to satiate our need to pursue information and resources. And that may sound confusing, so let's go back to our casino example. We all know that the odds of winning big in the casino are pretty much 0. The house always wins. Even if you win a little today, you will lose a lot more tomorrow. However, knowing that there's a reward that could be at the end of the rainbow, well, that incentivizes us to keep going and going and going, to keep putting more and more money in the slot machine, or keep putting more chips down on the table. Because gamblers aren't just addicted to the reward, they're addicted to the act of pursuing that reward. They have no control over whether they win or whether they lose, but the hunt itself sends their dopamine into overdrive. And then finally, we have the rewards of self. And these play on our desire to conquer obstacles, even if the reward is far smaller than the effort that we put into it. Now, think about video games. And I know that all of the gamers out there are gonna hate me for saying it, but unless you're a big streamer or something, playing video games really doesn't have a payoff for you. If you win, it's not like you get money or get some type of tangible reward. You don't get a trophy sent to your house or a plaque to hang up on the wall. Instead, what you get is the ability to showcase that you've taken the time and put in the effort to master the game. When you're presented with the opportunity to do more in order to unlock a special level or unlock a special weapon, it drives you to spend even more time on the game. It makes you feel special to have this high-powered weapon that nobody else had, or to end the game with a higher score than your friends. Ultimately, it just gives you reward of self, which keeps you coming back and coming back, because feeling good about yourself feels good to yourself. Whatever new social media site everybody's flocking to today, well, I promise you that it isn't trending just because of luck. It was designed that way. And the moment that you register, you enter this well-developed system that's designed to keep you coming back, to keep you spending, to keep you coming back more, and to keep you spending more. And if you find it almost impossible to stop, well, that's by design too. The same way that it's by design that those old ladies sit in front of the slot machine all day, flushing down their retirement 1 quarter at a time. Now, my job is to give you this information. What you do with it, well, I guess that depends on who you are and what your goals are. If you're somebody that's addicted to your phone, or addicted to some social media platform, or even addicted to gambling, then maybe this information will help you see exactly what's keeping you hooked so that you can break the habit. Or if you're a startup founder, then well, I just gave you the formula to how to make a shit ton of money by hooking your customers and keeping them coming back and spending with you. Putting a system in place to hook customers, well, that's one of the secrets to success in building a massive startup, but it's not the only one. Here's another secret. You actually don't have to come up with great ideas to create a wildly successful business. You can just steal the ideas, and you can learn exactly how in this video right here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep doing amazing shit.